Shalom, call Allah, Yahbashim, Yahshua, drop a video right quick on the way back in. I wanted to touch on, people getting their, the government shut down, people getting their stamps, and, these people in the world happy. A lot of them, people in different states, but a lot of them, they got their full stamps, or they even got more. They got, back stamps, and they happy. And, as a prophet, men of the Lord, you thinking, this the final straw, but, the scriptures say, this the Lord's movie, and things got to play out however the Lord have it play out. But we definitely know we in that season based upon the prophecies that's rolling on the last days. Men shall be lovers of themselves. That deals with self-centeredness, and that also deals with, sodomite, the MOTB, the digital world, we see that's developing. But, how things actually gonna play out, you fully don't know. And the scripture says, Sirach 2:14, woe unto him that lost patience. So you don't really want to lose patience, with this thing. Then, Putin, Iran, so the prophecy's kind of like, a market, it got its ups and downs. One prophecy hot, one another, but everything lined up and ready to go. And, these people, but what's going on with Esau, that's a shadow of things to come. And, they could just turn it back on because they're saying something about the end of January. And, they could re-shut it back down. Give these people money to spend for the Christmas, for the last quarter, the fourth quarter. Stimulus checks, and you see these people rejoicing. But, it's going to be reversed. So it says, when the world rejoice, you shall be sorrowful. But when we rejoice, the world shall be sorry. And it also says, Psalms 58:10, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. So as these prophecies rolling, because Esau, what he does is he does a lot of test runs. But the ultimate, when he ultimately gonna get draconian, because right now he want these people, straight up 100% dependent on him. That's how he want these people, relying on the system. But ultimately, he gonna get draconian. He gradually did. You seen it with the jab, the C-19. But ultimately, he gonna get draconian with that MOTB. It's gonna be like, he gonna really show his horns when it comes time to implement that. But, we still gotta keep the faith. The Lord said, be faithful unto death. And you also say, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will give you a crown of life. So at the end of the day, we still got to keep the faith and keep pushing. And some prophecies, you might think is it. The scriptures say also, you shall desire to see the day of the Lord and shall not see it. So, being anxious, hastening the day, but it be times that, things might set back on track, and things got to play out. This the Lord's movie, and we know certain things, Jacob's trouble and the MOTB, the elect being sealed, World War III, and we know all those things on the table, but how they actually specifically gonna play out in what order, we don't fully know. So we know in part and we prophesize in part. So, with that, brothers just got to keep the faith and stay grounded, and just wait till the Lord have, the ultimate things play out. But I would say, definitely keep eye on that MOTB, because that's the end all be all prophecy, the and everything, then basically that, the kingdom really after that. You know, I mean the chariots, the nukes, and basically the kingdom, the deliverance, certain things playing out. But hey, with that, Shalom. How about you? Shabbat Shalom.